Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul.
And it's Mike.
And we'd like to welcome you back to episode 49 of the AO podcast. Now, real quick, before we get into anything, as always, make sure you follow the links down in the description so you can follow us on all of our socials. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast or Spotify, make sure you follow us. Now, with that being said, now, unfortunately for today's episode, we do got to start off with some pretty unfortunate news.
Really sad news, in fact.
Now, if you've been listening to the podcast, especially the last two episodes, we've been talking a lot about the King of the Hill revival that just got announced for Hulu. We've been talking about, more specifically me, I've been talking about how excited I am for it because this is a show that I've been a fan of ever since I rewatched it as an adult. And it's crazy because even prior to this incident happening, for those of you who are familiar with King of the Hill itself, you'll know that quite a few of the voice actors who have been on that show have actually passed away.
Mm-hmm. Like half the cast.
Since the show since the show originally aired, back in like the late 90s. And unfortunately, a few days ago, we received some unfortunate news of Jonathan Ross, who most of you might know as the voice of John Redcorn on the show. And I guess apparently my sister was also telling me that he had been on some episodes of Parks and Rec. Now I didn't know that because I don't watch that show, so I mainly only knew him from King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm. He's really good in that show too.
But the way I want to break this down, because the way that I initially saw this play out is, I believe it was TMZ who I first saw report it, and initially the first reports were that he had gotten into some sort of altercation with his neighbor, and his neighbor unfortunately shot him and killed him. Now, it would later come out that, very unfortunately, that this was actually not just a regular dispute. That there had been reports that Ross had been having particular trouble with this neighbor for a while now. There had even been, I think I saw a report that said that there had been numerous calls made to 911 considering, or like in relation to that situation with his neighbor. And unfortunately, nothing was done about it. And the most unfortunate thing about this whole story is that it has now come out that the neighbor shot Jonathan Ross because he was gay. So which would make this a hate crime. Not only that, but Jonathan Ross was also a person of Native descent. Mm-hmm. So that just adds another layer to it, and it's just very unfortunate that not only that this thing happened, but it also the timing of it just feels very like, it feels that much more somber, because the reports initially came out about this on June 1st, and as we all know, June is Pride Month. Mm-hmm. So just a very, very unfortunate set of circumstances, and it sucks because as somebody who has loved the show and has rewatched the show as many times as I have become very familiar with Jonathan Ross's amazing work as John Redcorn. Mm-hmm. And I believe he was even set to reprise his role in the Revival series. Mm-hmm. So, like, just like I said, man, very unfortunate news, and it sucks that shit like this is unfortunately still happening.
Yeah, and like the year, you think like being in the year like 2025, it's like, oh, these things are like past us, when these things are just as relevant and sadly more common as any of us can realize. And not only that, the reason why the alteration escalated that much, and how he say the shot was aiming at his partner. So, and then he shoved his partner out the way to save him, which is also very, very saddening, to the fact that, the person, from what I've heard, is arrested.
Yeah, he has been arrested.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is a very big loss within this, within many communities. As Native American actor, gay actor, very comedic actor, very prominent in many highly acclaimed and very famous shows. And it really sucks that it also had to take place within Pride Month as well. So,
Yeah, and
but we will.
it also just to I wanted to say this because I saw somebody tweet about this, and it really resonated with me after this story happened. It said somebody tweeted out, they essentially retweeted out like or a tweet of some publication like talking about this incident, and they retweeted it by saying that and people still wonder like why we have to celebrate Pride Month, and it's unfortunately because of shit like this.
Yeah, no, we have. These are reasons why we keep making people aware of shit. Is like even when people think it's like, oh, it feels shoehorned in for, it's not really. Especially when violent, sad, fucked up shit keeps happening like this. This is like the time where we have to, keep that up the most. And this is, despite how offensive this and batshit this podcast can be, we are, we do align with ourselves. We're allies of this. We have friends and family that identify, within that community. So it is just as saddening, and it's fucked up, and it leaves like more of a very somber, like you said, somber, scary aura within the world that many people still think has gone away, which is not true. But it's times like these that we do have to really stick together and really push.
Yeah, so we just wanted to say that. I just really want to quickly say rest in peace.
This is a safe space.
Jonathan Ross. I will
Rest in
forever
peace.
remember your voice as John Redcorn. You've literally you had an impact on my life, believe it or not, because the amount of times I've rewatched King of the Hill, I've become very familiar with his character, and the brilliant voice acting that he brought to it. So it's just very unfortunate.
Right when him and Dale's like, how do you know I wanted a beard?
Oh, yeah. Dude, so they've been reposting clips on Twitter, and I think one of my favorites is like fucking Dale had set up like it's an episode where he gets a new lawnmower. So he like sets up like a tripwire because he doesn't want nobody messing with it, and it fucking hits John Redcorn as he's like trying to sneak into the window of his wife's room, and then he like comes out from underneath the basement, and he's like, I know what you're here for, and he's like, Dale, I didn't want you to find out this way, and he's like, stop screwing with my mower. he's like, now get inside and start massaging my wife. So it's just very, very fucking amazing voice actor, man.
And it's really sad that both of those people are
that's
gone,
crazy too. Both of those actors are now gone.
Yeah, no, and also he passed away. Ross passed away at 59, like within his mid to late 50s. We're still really young age, So to die. This is really fucked up.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Jonathan Ross, man. Your voice will for always be remembered. And also just a quick message to those of you who are in that community and do celebrate. Just make sure you check up on your friends. If you have friends that are in that community, just to make sure that they're good, because you never really know.
Yeah. It's fucked world.
Yeah. So just make sure you check in on your people, man, and just be kind to each other. Yes. That's all we can really ask.
But we're going to transition to something we find
more
lighter. Speaking of Pride Month, it's one of the messiest breakups I've ever seen.
Holy shit!
This month,
dude, you want to know what's crazy? When I first saw your story the other day, when you posted that like tweet from Elon, I thought that shit was fake.
No, it's not fake at all. It was, when I saw it, I thought it was like a parody account, because X is just such a fucking wasteland of content.
What I thought it was like a fake parody account. Yeah. But when I saw it was actually
no, it's fucking actually him having a meltdown because a bill that like does not betray ethics of Elon Musk, like spending whatever.
Oh, I think I heard it was something about how, like, because Trump said something about how, like, all EVs or whatever now have to be made in America. And Elon's like, no.
I'm like, I want to keep my exploitation out of America, all right? Not in here, because then people will find out what I've been fucking doing. You know, how many kids are killed making one of these fucking eco-friendly Teslas.
$1 million if they make them here.
You know, and he's like, no. But, like, it also, the bills is getting... Trumpsapans? What the fuck?
Trumpsapans. Sounds like a fucking medication, dude. like, are you suffering from so-and-so? Get yourself some Trumpsapans.
Trumpsapans, you know? It's like a fucking, like, diabetic, like, commercial where, like, the fat people are, like, you know, in the musical and shit. It's like the corniest song you ever hear.
It reminds me of that Cat Williams skit when he like, have you ever seen those commercials that come out at like 2 a.m. and they'll be like, they'll say that they can cure this one thing, but then they'll whisper like all the little side effects, and then he's all like, but it was something about how like.
I remember the joke.
Yeah, it was something about I forgot what the medication was for, but then he said the one of the fucking side effects was like diarrhea and the inability to stop it, and then fucking Cat was like diarrhea with the he's like, it's already embarrassing enough to fart in church. Now you gotta ruin your clothes.
It was just fucking shatting all over. Sometimes like, bro, sometimes being in church, even like in very like somber situations like funerals, sometimes he's like, I really gotta take a shit. And like, I don't know, because like it's in the church, like you feel like God reads your mind. So like when you're thinking like, oh, I gotta take a shit, God's like looking at you like, is he about to shit on the fucking stools when he fucking gets the communion bread? Is
this motherfucker. So if you didn't watch the last episode, we reviewed that horrible ass Weekend movie, so you definitely should go check it out if you haven't.
It was really funny. He thought Jenna Ortega was playing herself. It was really fucking funny.
And there was a scene where I think I said something along the lines of, this movie was so bad that I could have took a shit and then came back and I would have missed anything. But you somehow interpreted that by
I thought you were gonna shit in the theater.
I would literally shit in my seat.
Yeah, like this movie's so bad, like you'll fucking shit on the seat and leave it for like the fucking workers to clean up. You know, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. Why you gotta do that? Anyways, let's not talk about that. Watch the last episode if you want more of that. But we're gonna talk about the Musk Elon shit. And not only like, since this bill passed, you know, and people have Trump supporters. That's where I wanted to go. Trump supporters are having problems with the bill, Trump passing the bill, because it like goes against like some of the things they wanted. But Elon took it a step further and be like, nah, I really don't like this bill, and I'm gonna just do my Elon shit, but right on to Trump. But since it's Elon, it's backfiring so hard by him saying that he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna drop a bombshell. The fucking he's one of the names on the list. That's why he, you know, it hasn't been released. You're welcome. The truth will come out. Like, first of all, if you already, motherfuckers, that's probably the highest case. It's not like a truth bomb. It's kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's not surprising.
Also, I think the fucking irony is that he's admitting all this shit, but it's like, weren't you just cool with him a few months ago?
Not only that, you knew he was like a PDF, but like you let your fucking kid put his fucking boogies on the fucking oval desk and shit.
That's what did it for Trump. As soon as that booger touched that special fucking desk.
As soon as the kid was digging for gold in there and
that was it.
Wiping it on the making a stain.
That was fucking must.
That was it. But like also, you knew he was that, but let your child near him, you fucking weirdo. Like you think you're gonna be like this whole like savior when there's other things you've done that literally counter whatever the fuck you've said. And you know, it's usually like it's bad when like I'm like on the side of Trump, because like this Elon really does like make hardcore decisions that just keep fucking up his image. Like the ketamine he has is fucking like must be fucking some crazy shit.
The amazing thing to me is just
crazy
we're
shit.
literally seeing two fucking awkward weirdos like go at it, and it's the funniest shit ever.
And
It's like both of them are fucking awkward.
yeah, no, and only that, Trump is like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna have like relations with him anymore. And like, I will say, like, Trump is always funny. Like, this is why, like, Trump is always funny when he has like the lick bats that he fucking has and shit, you know. And it's like Elon Musk is just like, he keeps retweeting old shit that like also keeps countering whatever fucking statements he's made last year. You know, I think a lot of the shit he's done is really fucked up. And like, even Musk is like, if I wasn't there to bribe all and like fuck up the votes, he wouldn't have won. And I'm like, wait, so you're kind of admitting to like changing the outcome of the thing by doing all these things you were doing. So like, it just makes you look even worse in hindsight. Like, yeah, no, Musk is a fucking idiot. Like, I get, you know, there's sides and shit. I'm not gonna say I get it because I don't, but like,
yeah, like, you don't have his brain.
Yeah, no, it was like, well, even like a lot of like Trump supporters are like, no, get this fucker out of here now. You know, I like imagine being like the MAGA hatter and like, which side would you rather be on, the Trump side or the Musk side? Because like, that's like, either side
well,
but like
the thing
Musk
for me is like, if I had to look for it, I would have to see what the benefits for me would be. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Trump only has hotels and like steaks and shit. But
he does not. Those steaks are not good.
But I mean, at least Elon has Tesla.
Yeah, but Teslas like fucking suck. Have you seen those Cybertrucks?
The Cybertrucks, yeah, but the regular Teslas are all right. I've been in one a few times.
Oh man, I don't like them at all. I think they're fucking whack as dicks. You know, the fucking is like fucking.
I fucks with it. I like the technology.
Driving it's a fucking chore and a half though. Like fucking driving that shit, like you do one little fucking tap on your you do one little tap on your foot, you fucking go flying.
Okay, I wanted to say this because I feel like people turn this into a weird thing where it's like whoever fucking okay, I'll say this: the Cybertrucks I get 100%, but I hate the whole narrative that people made like now just because like Elon's a piece of shit that like Teslas automatically suck. Like,
they do though. They fucking do. You could just get like a regular modern Honda and it'll do everything and better of what a fucking even like a higher price Honda like that exists now.
It's not a horrible car. Like,
it's pretty. You know, you don't have to drive the shit. That's also the thing. It's not your car. Driving it fucking sucks. The seats are ass. Fucking hate I hate all the doors.
I literally never heard Eric say that shit once.
Well, first of all, it's Eric, but like if he likes it, that's cool. But like
a lot of people, but if it was really that bad, I'm pretty sure Eric.
I don't know. I've been hearing shit about Teslas ever since before. Like he just riding. Well, my experience, I disagree. So.
Nah, that's some BS. I
don't know. It's BS. They're bad cars. They
not.
Fucking suck driving. Their shit. It fucking has the screen and all that.
I'm not making the fucking argument that it's the best car ever. It's just not horrible. It's not a shitty car.
I think it's a very shitty car. It's a very shitty car.
It's not.
The way it turns his ass, the way you have to be so sensitive with the gas pedal is fucking ludicrous. Why have brakes, and even then the brakes don't really fucking work. And also, like, it says it's made out of these clean materials, but each Tesla probably has caused like the deaths of like fucking 30 kids at least, you know, at maximum 200.
It doesn't do that.
Yeah, that is true. That is the capitalistic. Well, I mean, they're killing a lot of kids. Like, you know, it was like I get it.
Where the fuck do our iPhones come from?
Yeah, fucking, and Apples, and they fucking break too. You can fucking drop one. I was about to say something crazy.
I was literally, you know what? You can fucking drop. I was like, I don't know what would have followed that, but it probably wouldn't have been good.
No, it wouldn't. But like, yeah, no, I could go on a whole rant on Teslas, but like, fuck.
But no, back to Musk and Trump.
Yeah, Musk and Trump. That shit, yeah, no, that shit is hilarious. And somehow Elon is making himself look worse, and he's always making himself look like he just got a participation trophy, like a little key for leaving the administration and shit, which is also like very sad to see. And he looks, and also since Fox is like, right wings, and like so it's like
Oh,
Trump's side, and it has like they have like an article on Musk, and they chose like the most cracked out fucking picture of a Musk they could ever pick. It was so shady. It was really funny
when Musk first made his exit out of politics.
Yeah.
People, because I guess like prior to that, on his on his official profile on X, or fuck X, Twitter.
Yeah, fuck X. We're not calling it by that shit. Fuck you. Suck my dick.
He had like a regular profile pic of his face, right?
Uh-huh.
But after like the whole Trump shit happened, he like turned it into a black fucking circle.
Yeah, I know. He's in his depressed mode.
That fucking said it's only. He's like, no. Somebody retweeted that. It's like
it's the only amount of time.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see, and then one of my favorite parts is the CIA unalive memes that are going around. Is like, this is when the CIA agent that has to do the job, and they're like, it's like football compilations, like, whoa, let's go, yeah, and it's like people are tagging the FBI and CIA like with gaslighting memes. I was like, oh, I know you're not gonna take that. I know you're not gonna take that from who? He's like, you know what we used to do back in the 60s and 70s? I don't think you could take that. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious that like he created this platform just for like people to like anticipate the end of him, which is so in a lot of ways sad, but if you're not him, it's really funny. So like, yeah, that shit is crazy. Pride Month, it started off sad, really sad, in fact. Yeah. But now it's like, this is one of the craziest breakups I've ever seen. And like, this is going to be in history books 100 years from now. They're going to look back at this.
My favorite tweet about this whole thing is just like, somebody like, this is the gayest shit of all time.
This is really like very spicy and for no reason. Like, it's really funny. But I think that's all we could talk about now. But
so now moving on to something that Mike's probably not gonna like, so I'll just mainly be talking about it because it's something that I legit I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I literally saw a post on Instagram earlier before you picked me up that reminded me about this because it just reminded me how fucking down bad some people are.
Yeah, so, people are really down bad.
So a while back, so I've been following this company. That goes by the name Dr. Sasquatch on Instagram for a while now. They're a very popular.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. I know.
They're a very popular like
soap bar.
Bar brand. And they're like popular because they do a lot of collabs. Like they've done collabs with DC, Marvel. And like I personally,
you want to smell like the Hulk? Buy our soaps. Want to smell like fucking green ass? What does green ass smell like? Comment below. Let us know.
Fucking nobody's trying to sniff Shrek's ass, dude.
Shrek. You don't know. A lot of people like love big boys like Shrek. He's an ogre, but like
you're stupid. But no, so. They do a lot of collabs now. I've actually never personally tried one of their products yet, but I have been following them on Instagram for a minute.
Now you might though.
Now shut up. Now, so a while back, they actually this was prior to this happening. A couple months back, they did a collab with Sydney Sweeney, who a lot of you know from Euphoria. Who played Cassie. But she did a collab with them, which was essentially it was just like a little commercial that she did for them, like a little ad.
Yeah.
It was just to promote their products. But then recently they've decided to collab again, except this time they are selling soap bars that
include Sydney Sweeney's bathtub water. So her fucking dirty ass is like in the water, and they scooped it, and they put it in the soap bar machine. I don't know how they fucking make this shit. Yeah. And then it's like, hey, wash yourself with some fucking dirt from another human body.
Now, I was thinking about this. Right? I was really thinking about this, and I was like, I honestly think that the only possible way that this is an acceptable purchase for somebody is if you're buying it as a fucking gag gift for someone. Else
they're gonna fucking like
for example, like
they're gonna put all this soap on that dick.
If Like, for example, if fucking Nick bought this shit for me.
Why you gotta call him out on the cast?
Shut the fuck up. Because you know it would be something you
That is true. That is true. He would fucking be like, hey, I know.
Give this shit to me and be like, huh, you want to smell her too? Yeah. Like, that's what fucking Nick would do. So shut up, because you know who fucking Nick is. Dude. So if Nick were to buy this for me as like a fucking gag gift for like my birthday, like I would get it. But in any other fucking circumstance, if you just like if I bought gave this shit to me, I'd be like, what the fuck? Or like if you like in roles reverse, like if I was like, hey. You know what I just bought recently, Mike? Fucking Sydney Sweeney's fucking soap.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like,
what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, like what are you doing?
This is
unless it's not like a joke. Like I'll give it to you as a joke.
Yeah,
too,
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
If this is only like the only like just like sensible way I can see somebody purchasing this is as a fucking gag gift.
But it's like, oh, I want to smell clean. No, you don't buy this to smell clean. You buy this to like fucking jack off to the soap. And not only that, fucking burn the fucking like. Not only that, soap burns the dick. So I can't imagine someone buying it. He's like, oh, I'm gonna jerk off with the soap, and it's just like it's just Indian burning like, and like fucking. It's like it's like a fucking like they're melting and
looks
shit.
Like fucking terrifying.
I know it's fucking.
but then so
it's like
but it gets fucking worse, man.
Yeah, well, how does it get worse?
So so it's bad enough.
Oh, I think I know how it gets worse.
So then, I just saw literally what I saw earlier on Instagram. So you're probably not gonna know what this website is, but there's an app and a website called StockX. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a very
don't know
popular.
What the fuck that is.
It's a very popular retail site for people who want to resell sneakers. Mm-hmm. And of course, for those of you who know, the sneaker market is like, it has its own fan base that's very large. And a lot of people in that community consider themselves like collectors and stuff. Yeah. So like, not to get into it, but people like resell them shits for like crazy amounts of money. But people are now reselling these Sydney Sweeney soap bars on there for about $300.
God damn, $300 for a fucking soap bar that's probably gonna go out in like fucking at least 7 to 10 days. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, just the fact that not only that you would pay for this for
but
regular
you're a fucking scalper to like try to get more money off it, and you can't, because the state of the world we're living in is like, I have money to spend it on this extremely dumb shit.
Like, I want to make one thing clear: shout out
to Sydney Sweeney
because she
like, knows how to make a bag, because motherfuckers are
this, like, no question.
Motherfuckers are horny.
It's just like, you gotta be so fucking down bad to like genuinely
to buy the fucking soap. And first of all, jerk off with soap is crazy.
Because here's the thing: the reason why I want
get
to
in your dick hole, it's gonna like fucking burn inside everywhere for like days even, so it's just like, imagine voluntarily putting soap in the dick hole just because like
who voluntarily does that?
Fucking because these weirdos, what else are they gonna do with it? Like, are they gonna actually use it to wash?
Fucking hole in it and fucking No, but the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is not the first time that this has happened. Like, no, I think the first like instance that I saw about this was with that one YouTuber.
I know who you're talking about too. I forgot her name.
Belle Delphine.
Yeah, she revolutionized.
I believe she was the first one that like went ahead and was like selling like little individual jars of her bathwater.
She revolutionized that. That created a market that nobody needed, but like, except really down bad, lonely.
So like, this has
virgins.
been a thing for a while. Like, and you know what's funny? There was another one. It was a girl. She was like doing something similar, but instead of her bathwater, she was like farting in jars, and she would seal them up, and like, and the thing that would be like the thing that cracked me up is like, she would like, people who bought it,
the fart jars.
People who bought it could like make requests as to what she would have to eat that day.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's so.
But you know what's even wilder? I remember
that fart genre.
I remember that specific girl who was doing that. I guess she like, I don't know, like she was doing something that like, I guess must have messed up like her, like intestinal system, like because
Hmm.
she obviously like you have to fart in a shit ton of jars.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot of
so
farting. That's a lot of
so
work in the
she
colon.
actually I believe she actually ended up in the hospital because of that.
Just like too many requests, and then like that the ass needs rest. It's like it's not made to be constantly farting in jars. It's made to fucking get whatever things inside your body out the fucking body.
So it's like it's
So
crazy. So I
yeah,
point out those examples just to say that it's like it's crazy because like
super
shout out
common.
like because like shout out to all of those creators because obviously they're just trying to make their own. They're just trying to make their money. But it's like it's sad to say that they're always gonna have a market because people are fucking weird.
And not only that, and whether we like it or not, it's a genius marketing thing to get more fucking money. It's out of the expense of like a whole lot of losers that are in the world that have the money to spend it instead of like doing something useful with that money, like buying food for themselves, or like taking care of
Like
what
also like
their
now to bring that up
moms or
like it's
something.
because it kind of for me it falls in like the same realm as like I'll never fucking understand like the people who spent like literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on like OnlyFans models and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
no.
Like that's something that will never make sense to me.
The men loneliness epidemic is fucking crazy, but like make that bag,
Oh, you know
Sydney.
what? Real quick,
We'll make that
to
fucking
mention this
bag.
because we probably wouldn't mention it otherwise, but
Mm-mm.
since you just said that, June, as much as it is even though June is also Pride Month, something that you also might not know is that June is also considered men's
A mental health
mental
awareness
health
month,
awareness. So I just want to say that to put a quick PSA out there, like
because
for those of you who have friends out there, like close friends that maybe you haven't talked to them in a while, just reach out, send them a message or give them a call. Just you always want to make sure that your friends are good. So
it's no coincidence that it's the same month.
yeah,
So
so
like
just
yeah.
make sure you reach out. You're fucking like just I don't want to take it there. I was trying to have a nice fucking wholesome little quick PSA. Fucking like it. I hate it. So you know what? Just fucking reach out, or you know what? Don't.
Just fucking or don't.
You fucking made me change my mind.
He's like, you know what? Fuck your man's mental health. Because mental health is gay. Anyways, let's move on. It's happy pride, happy mental, but like what's not happy? That makes me fucking mad as dicks. A fucking the movie we're gonna be talking
Yeah.
about.
So okay. So wait. So yeah, I want to put into context before we get into this movie. So I remember
Spoilers, by the way.
yeah,
Spoilers for this fucking review.
But before we even like, I remember. I think the first time we heard about this movie was I forgot what movie we went to go watch, but we saw like a little teaser trailer for this movie at the beginning of that movie that we were watching. And now ever since I saw that little teaser, I kind of put it in my brain because I was like, okay, so because this movie is from the people who made Talk to Me.
Yeah, and the movie's called Bring Her Back,
yeah,
by the way.
and so
we're going to be talking about Bring Her Back.
And so I remember really enjoying Talk to Me. So I was like, you know what? I haven't done this in a while, so what I want to do is I actually want to try to avoid as many spoilers as I can for this because I want to go into this movie completely blind. Like, I don't want to know anything about it because it had been a minute since I've done that with a movie. And I just figured that this one would be a perfect one to like just go in blind to.
Yeah.
So for the most part, before seeing this movie, I think I was able to do a pretty good job of that. The only thing that I really knew about the movie prior to watching it was that people were saying that it was very violent.
Yeah, and people were liking it. It was getting like really good reviews when the premiere when it first started showing everywhere. Yeah, but and then I was actually really excited for this movie too because one, like you said, it's from the directors of Talk to Me, a movie that I found really entertaining and really fun and really like abrasive and violent too. I think that's a really violent movie as well.
Yeah, when the little brother fucked himself
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that was.
I actually just recently rewatched that movie because I haven't seen it since we watched it in theaters. And that fucking scene when the little brother just fucking smacked me his fucking face.
Yeah,
on the table,
yeah,
like,
no,
oh, shit.
it's really like ooh, and like I'm also a big fan of these directors, Danny and Michael Filippo, because they came from YouTube. I was a big fan of their very violent sketches that they did and where they actually put themselves, because they're also really big wrestling fans, and they did a lot of backyard and violent wrestling, the type of shit Punk David really likes and shit. Like they're part of that, group as well, but they also are famous for like their YouTube cinematic sketches that like are also really violent and really funny. And I was, I saw that, I know these people as influences since high school. So seeing them coming out with Talk to Me was like really inspirational to see. And I'm like, I'm here to, no matter what, I'm here to keep supporting these dudes no matter what, because I'm just such big fans. So we came in to the movie and we finished.
We watched the trailers and then wait, hold on real quick before we get to the review. I want to mention this because it was fucking funny. So the movie is starting, and
before we go to review, let's Raul, tell him what dumb shit you fucking did.
So I was
fucking embarrassing me.
You were so embarrassed. It was kind of funny.
It was fucking. It was really funny, but fuck you.
So
I have some of this
at the beginning of the. Oh yeah, I think I put the little cap on. Yeah.
Yeah. Smoky time. Smoky time.
But so the beginning of the movie is starting, and that first they're like showing us like some weird culty shit, like some like grainy like VHS footage, and then after that is when we get the title sequence for the movie. And here's the thing: the reason why I'm so fucking mad about this is because I literally I had my phone ready and I had it on my chest.
He was gonna take a picture of the title screen just to let people know.
I was being so fucking discreet with it.
First of all, you weren't discreet. I was looking at you the entire time while you were doing
it. You were right next to me, fool. But so I had my phone literally in my chest, but I had like the camera app open on my phone, right? Because my thing was like, as soon as I see the title screen, I'm just gonna snap a quick picture so I can post it on my story. Well,
as one does when they're fucking being annoying.
And
then what happened? So what happened with your very grand sneaky plan?
I raised my phone up, I pushed the button, and I just see a flash of light.
Yeah, just a giant flash covering the whole fucking screen, and then just like I just see him put the phone like immediately down, and I just immediately start telling him how much he's a fucking idiot.
Was so, literally,
I'm like, how the fuck?
Like, you would have figured I farted in the theater or something. That's how fucking embarrassed you were, dude.
Took a shit in the seat.
But you were fucking. It was.
I was mad because it was fucking why would?
It was low-key kind of funny how upset you got. But so I did that. So that was a fail because when I
it was a super fail. Grandiose.
When I went back and I went to my.
You didn't even get the picture. It's just your pants. It's just your pants.
It's just a white ass fucking picture.
It looked like you're fucking taking a a dick pic the wrong way. But funny enough, or maybe even sadly enough, I thought that was the most entertaining thing about the movie. Was it wasn't even the movie, it was just you trying to take a picture. And you know what's funny, when I see the options on the side of your phone, I'm like, that thing is like different colors from the rest of the circles. Is that the flash? And then you took the picture, and then just whole theater is just lit. And that's a large flash, by the way.
Yeah.
It covered the fucking whole screen of the fucking theater. The whole thing is just white, and I'm like, what?
I think the funniest part to me that I didn't realize that you told me after the fact was when you're like, everybody in the theater noticed, right?
Yeah, you know that other people are gonna go home and talk about, man, what the fuck was that flash doing? Yeah, but 10 minutes, 30 minutes into the movie, by the way, we're gonna be in the minority of this movie because there's a lot of people who consider this better than Talk to Me, which I just
used to be a minority.
Flat. Cause he's Mexican, guys. It's okay. And he I want to just diverse because I actually don't want to talk about this movie. We're in the minority here. I didn't like this movie at all. This is coming from a huge.
To put it out there, we were not fans of this movie.
As huge fans of these guys, I was pretty fucking disappointed.
Which I will say was a letdown because knowing that was one of the main reasons why I was excited for this movie. It was because I knew it was from the people that made Talk to Me.
Yeah, and I think my biggest problem with it is yeah, sure, you could say there's no originality in it anymore in art, which is true. Like, we're just all reusing shit we learned before. But the way the script, you kind of know 10, 20 minutes into this movie, beat for beat
Yeah, that's
what
what I was
the
gonna
fuck
say.
is
So
going to happen.
my experience going into it, like not knowing anything about it, I was very fucking disappointed that I chose this movie to do that because, like Mike said, 20 to 30 minutes into it, I kind of started to piece together like what this movie was gonna be.
Yeah, no, and that's very disappointing. And also, the script itself is very similar to not only just horror movies in general, of the A24 or movies that came out since.
Yeah, but talk to me specifically.
And then Talk to Me, which was their last fucking movie. And like, I was kind of like surprised when I felt watching this. I'm like, nothing here, even when it comes to the direction with how good the movie looks, it doesn't have that like very brisk, frantic style that, for me, Talk to Me had. And like you said, a lot of people were talking about how brutal, how violent, how sadistic, how mean this movie is.
Also, real quick,
and I don't think that was it. If anything, I thought it was more schmaltzier.
You know what?
And very more
side rant.
Very small, more taken seriously than the last
that,
movie.
Like, she listens to a podcast where I guess one of the girls on the podcast was talking about how she went to go see this movie in theaters, and the person that was sitting next to her, like, gagged or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just say, for those people, I never understood, like, for those of you who gag at, like, movies like this, I think you're all, like,
a little sensitive.
You're all some pussy. Y'all
some pussy? Like, why you gotta say it like you're fucking 92 years old?
Because, like, why?
Y'all are
I never understood that, like, it really, like...
like, you got no teeth.
Here's the thing. I understand, like, people, like, not liking gore and, like, not wanting to see it. Like, I get that. But, like, for it to literally be that bad to the point of it really making you sick, like, I never understood that. Like, that just... Yeah. It just feels like that's a little... Yeah.
I thought Talk to Me was, like, more violent and disturbing. And also, I think Talk to Me, for, like, whatever familiarities it does take from other movies, for sure. Its ideas leave the story more unpredictable, and like very can go like also, the depiction of the depiction of hell in that movie I thought was really cool.
To be fair to that point that I just said, I am also a fan of Terrifier.
Yeah, that is.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So
what, you gonna start the whole thing over?
Let's do that again. Take two.
You better leave that shit in there. Anyways, we're back. We're not starting the whole thing over.
Fuck you. Why do you want to make me look bad? Okay, so
you literally you literally leave in episodes that I keep telling you, like, hey, there's 10 minutes of us coughing, and you don't edit it. We're fine.
Okay, so
we're fine.
As you can see from my fuck up right there, we actually had to restart because the battery died.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Yeah, so we just switched it out real quick. But as I was saying, I am a fan of Terrifier, so I feel like ourselves are pretty desensitized when it comes to shit like that. So maybe that's why I feel that way.
But also, like, for me, I just think it's also like, I don't think the story itself, yeah, sure, it has like a couple of very grotesque, gross, like disturbing parts, but the overall, like, I don't want to say vibe, but the tone of the movie felt very like more schmaltzier and like Hollywood artificial more than like Talk to Me, where it felt like, oh, like a gritty, more had more grittiness to it. It had more like atmosphere. Like the atmosphere was more darker in Talk to Me. Well, I didn't feel any tension through this movie at all, save for one scene in the movie, which I think is easily the best scene in the movie. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna talk about that real quick, then we'll go over the story, because I'm just gonna get that positive out the way. Is when the kid's in the bathtub showing its true self, its true form, and then the image of like his full form, but like through the foggy mirror, and then the mirror breaks. Yeah, I thought that was a really tense and good scene that I thought I was gonna get throughout the entire movie, but I did not. I was pretty fucking bored throughout this movie, and I think, but like, not to the fault of the actors, because I actually think the acting was pretty good for the most part in this movie. Like I thought everybody in the cast, especially Sally Hawkins, who plays the main villain, was
Oh,
really
I was
good in
gonna
this
say, speaking
movie.
of her character, when the kids first meet her, I was like, I even told you, I was like, you know what, this could have been like no black or Mexican kids because as soon as they saw her, we'd be like, oh, that's a
It's like
fucking crack
this is
lady,
the
fool.
fucking that's like the weirdest lady that's the mom that's why it's the house you don't go over because like the mom is fucking cracked the fuck out and like they do like little
And we'd be
festivities with the
like, the
kids.
fucking Mexican kids, be like, hey, I think that's that crazy lady on the corner, fool.
I was about to say something that involves real life people, but we're not gonna go into that.
I fucking hate you.
like, but I thought she was good, really good for like the role they were doing. But like also, and like that's the thing too. I think there's a lot of potential in this movie, and a lot of people saw it. I saw it more as potential. I just saw it as potential. But like the story itself, like the way the script goes, like it's like beat by beat, like similar. Honestly, like similar to like Clowns in the Cornfield, where I was like, you don't really go for the story, you just
That
hear there
movie
for the
was
feel.
fucking
Yeah,
entertaining, though.
but like it felt more like basic than that. Like I'm like this just has like the big high art aesthetics that like
That one didn't have no gay dudes
yeah.
kissing in the background.
The lesbians in the second shot of
Uh,
the movie.
I love some of the stupid, like, I fucking love, like, just random shit like that that
Yeah.
was in that movie.
And it's like
Why didn't we get that?
it's like because like Talk to Me I felt like had a good mix of like both, like it's like very like yeah sure this is like a entertaining horror movie but it also has like very darker elements. I don't think this movie was either that entertaining when it came to like the horror aspects of the piece, and I also don't think it was dramatically engaging like the other, especially because like I saw and feel Hereditary inside and out throughout this fucking, especially like with the Tale of Grief, and like yeah sure Talk to Me has a lot of Hereditary Ari Aster elements, but I felt like this one was like just straight up like a generator of like things that happen in other movies that happen here, but like in the most told in like more of a basic way. And I don't like saying that, especially with when it comes to these two artists and directors. And there was a whole debate recently that was like, oh, if you came from YouTube then you don't, then you're not an artist, you're just a content creator. And like people start off YouTube is like, this is why people don't like art and it's degenerating. I'm like, whoa. First of all, art could come from anywhere, anytime, any place. Let's not restrict that. Let's not like, yeah, sure, YouTube has a bunch of fucking dumb shit, but a lot of people come from YouTube and content creating to make like really good shit. Quentin Brunson with Abbott Elementary, Kokon, or whatever the fuck director's name. I'm sorry for butchering that, but like, but he's
I
made
love
some
how
after
confident
Yang.
you were in the first, and then
After
you're
Yang,
like,
I'm like, is that
and then
his
you just
name?
paused on the
Who
second
made
one.
After Yang and like very very acclaimed Criterion essays and stuff, and like very important, very acclaimed. So a lot of people can come from anywhere. That being said, the movie itself, I think, is a weird movie to make. Very similar movie to make, after the movie you just did. Like, I don't think my biggest problem with this is like the unoriginality within both the script and the presentation of the movie, and that's, to me, that's like, I hate saying that because that sounds very pretentious to say, but like it's a slog. It's a fucking slog of a movie. Sometimes, especially that first hour, I was really disassociated. Like,
Real quick, just to
yeah.
point out for the people watching or listening, the telltale sign that I fucking knew that Mike did not fuck with this movie was when we were in the theater. Mike was fucking quiet as shit, and like for those of you who don't know Mike, I watched quite a few movies with him in theaters, and so I always know that he's having a good time because we'll be constantly making comments back and forth to each other like about the movie. And this one there was none of that.
Yeah, no, we were both just like waiting for something good, and then that bathtub scene happened. I was like, okay, it's gonna get good now, and it kind of just didn't. And I wish I could like recall like, and also there's like the montage scenes that come in that are very, I they're trying to go for that to make it their style. But I felt like the montage scenes just felt like too long. So one of them felt like fucking Hurry Up Tomorrow, where it's just like you're just using all the footage you kind of filmed on this day, and that's a terrible movie. That's a really bad movie. But do think there is a lot of really good elements here too. Like I do think the acting is really good. I still think visually they still bring
you know
it.
what? Real quick, just to because I don't think we pointed it out. For those of you, real quick, because I don't think we even told it. Like for those of you, for like people who don't know, I don't think we explained what the movie, what the fucking movie even was.
Well, it's a spoiler review, so fuck them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but still.
All right, it's about a woman.
It's basically just about this brother and sister who their father dies suddenly, so they get placed in the system, and they get placed with this woman who, obviously, like at first like encounter, she comes off just really odd. And then shit starts to happen, and then you basically find out that she like another little kid that's in her care, who then you find out was fucking kidnapped, is like possessed by some sort of demon or some shit because she's like trying to bring her daughter back. That's essentially the gist of the movie.
Yeah, and it's like it sounds familiar, huh? And like that wouldn't be too bad for me, but like it wasn't entertaining enough or dramatically engaging enough for me to like really keep my interest. Like literally after like when the parent dies and they have to go with Sally Hawkins and shit, I'm like, once you get there, it's like we know, especially at the beginning of the movie, after you did your flash, we get to see the VHSs of the cult, the Russian cult trying to bring somebody back to life, and like this is not a cult and shit. I'm like, well, it kind of is.
Yeah, like what scene in this movie? Like I knew fucking immediately where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
It was that scene where, cause you know how like there's constant scenes in this movie where like the main villain character, she's like showing the little boy who's possessed like tape. She's like showing him the videotape.
Yeah.
There's one where she's like showing him where it's like the girl that's possessed, like she starts like it looks like she's eating like some of the dead people, but then they come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we fucking saw her go into that warehouse and we saw the freezer, I was like, oh, the daughter's in there.
Yeah, no, it's like when things are set up, it's like I don't mind things being predictable, but when they're like just like straight forward and it pretends to be like a very deep meaning shit, and it's just like, okay, now you're just like not treating me with respect at all as an audience member. And I feel like like A, B, and C, we know what the fuck is going to happen, and like you didn't make it entertaining or engaging enough for me to fucking give a shit. But like let's go to the violence in this movie, because there's some good parts, but I don't think it's that gnarly. Honestly, I thought Talk to Me, because of like it's the possession it's more spiritual too. You get to see the inside of like being the possessed one and going to this hell, and like it makes it more existential. I don't think there's anything psychologically intense about this movie, despite the fact it takes from many psychological based movies and stuff. And from beginning to end, I was pretty fucking bored. Are there, besides the bathtub scene, I really didn't fuck with this movie at all, and that's very sad to say. And I would say don't hate me, but I guess hate me because like my opinion is different, and I will still keep supporting these brothers because they
y'all can hate me.
Yeah,
I don't fucking like this movie.
Yeah, I don't like this movie. I'm still support, but like I was very disappointed in this movie.
I will say it was a really disappointing follow up. Like I just like obviously like I'm not like I'm gonna watch their whatever movie they do next, but it's like this one just wasn't it.
Yeah, no, and if you like this movie, that's great. It's fine, whatever the fuck. But shout out to you, because like this is getting more acclaim and more praise than Talk to Me.
Like you always say, at least it's doing good.
It's doing good. It's doing horror movies, original horror movies, doing good, and it's for artists I really like. So shout out to them. But I fucking did not like this movie. Is there anything else you want to talk about in this movie?
Really, the only two scenes that were actually good was
Oh
One
yeah,
where
the and
the
the
main little girl, she's like, it's a struggle sequence where she's like trying to get away from the main villain lady, and there's a part where she manages to like rip off part of her sweater, and she starts running, but she literally runs right into a fucking pole and like
yeah,
knocks herself out.
yeah, that was really
So that
funny.
part was hilarious, and then there was a scene that audibly made you fucking laugh in the
Yeah,
theater.
this scene was good. This scene was good when they're like in the car, like they're trying to run away to the car, and then the Sally Hawkins characters comes and runs them the fuck over, like out of nowhere. There's something about like when there's like a good car chase or like someone people getting hit by a car in a movie, like it's like really good. And I feel like that is one of my favorite moments in the movie just because of how shocking and out of
That was
nowhere it
literally
is.
the only time I heard you react during
Yeah,
this
no,
whole fucking movie.
and I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty fucking good. That was really good. I really like that shit a lot. Um, and I still, yeah, no, I don't like much about this movie. You know, if I rewatch it again, probably not. And I hope I do, but like, no, I'll. And it sucks. It sucks. It just sucks feeling like this. But I'm rooting for the next project.
So
And
what did you? So what did you end up rating it?
I'll rate it around a 4 out of 10, a two out of 5. With very, yeah. If you like it, that's great. It's not for me. Not for me at
Yeah,
all.
I think I would. I think I ended up giving it a 2.5, just because it's like it's not horrible. It's just like nothing really interesting about it.
Yeah. You know where it's going to go. Talk to Me at least it had a few like
Yeah.
whoa, like a few like good maneuvers. But here it's just like wow, that like might as well just watch like Clowns in the Cornfield or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, at least
And
it
you
knows
know
what
what?
it is. At least it knows what it is.
And you know what?
This felt very uneven of what it wanted to be.
You know what those kids wish they would have had to deal with that crazy lady?
What?
A couple clips, man, because we're gonna be talking about the new Clipse track.
That was probably the worst one so far. Cause like
Really? You think
you knew you couldn't pull, you couldn't sound cool saying that.
So
Couple clips, man. Hey, we out here. We out here.
But wait.
You know, it makes you seem more prone to say the end. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But like,
Don't get away from. Don't let your mind wander too far.
I'm just saying. I was speaking truth. You get a
Word,
couple,
but don't
you
say
keep,
it.
you keep a couple beans get mad. But like, anyways,
I'm gonna keep that in.
you're gonna keep that in. I'm Mexican, boy. So like, we good, we solid. I'm just speaking truth. That's it. I'm a being myself.
No, shut up. But anyways,
I'm not Mr. Bean.
so we're. Okay, so you want to give me shit for mine being bad? That was fucking horrible. You just
That Ronan
matched,
Atkinson.
you really just matched how horrible my fucking transition was.
That's what you get for
That's
fucking
amazing.
talking that dumb shit. But
But
anyways,
no, so anyways, we're super hyped.
I forgot
because-
we were talking about that.
because so Clipse, they announced a new album a while back, but now we're finally started. Not only have we gotten a first single off of it,
Ace Trumpet's fucking fire.
but we also have now a release date. It will be coming out on July 11th, which I am super excited about this. Now here's the funny part. Originally, we were only going to be planning on talking about the actual single itself, but some shit has come out that is worth mentioning.
Yeah, and like we might not mention it all because we already are going a little overtime, but
Yeah.
like we're gonna mention some highlights because this shit is fucking crazy. First of all, good marketing,
Yeah.
really good marketing
So
on their
for those
behalf.
of you who don't, like, I'll just give a quick rundown.
Yeah, do
so
that.
what basically happened is after the single came out, I think Pusha T did an interview with I don't know what publication it was.
GQ.
Yeah, GQ. And so in there he basically spilled the tea and said that Def Jam, which was the label that I guess was originally supposed to drop this album, actually ended up dropping the Clipse and Pusha T as a solo artist. And the reasoning behind that was because on the album they are going to be having a Kendrick feature, and the label was afraid that Kendrick's verse like might come off as he was taking shots at at Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And they wanted not.
So
they
actually wanted
to censor a few lines.
Yeah. So, but then even after, not only that, but then even went further, telling Pusha T that he outright had to remove Kendrick's feature. Yeah. And obviously Pusha T wasn't going to do that, so he ended up paying. I think he ended up paying like $700,000 to like a seven
figure thing. So it's like in the millions at least. It's 7 figures.
Yeah, so he paid like a crazy amount to like get dropped and like to basically get released from the label.
Yeah,
and then the crazy part is that within 24 hours he managed to link up and finish a deal with Rock Nation.
Yeah, no, because like Jay-Z and Pusha T, like they have a relationship like that, and if there's anyone who knows how to maneuver like that within the lawsuit game and like when it comes to law shit, is Jay and his people, you know, because like Jay has actually like battled some crazy and has given some crazy lawsuits too. Let's not forget he's a fucking kind of piece of shit sometimes. But here he was like, no, let's see what we can do and let's see how we can get you out of this, you and your brother, you know.
But here's so like we said, so the reason why I want to mention that is because the reason that a big reason as to why this is happening is, if you remember, like I just said, the reason why the label wanted to censor or remove Kendrick's feature was because they were afraid that some of the lines might have been going at Drake. And as we all know, Drake is currently suing UMG, which owns Def Jam Records.
Yeah, so it was like UMG is like, hey, you Def Jam, tell them to censor this or else shit will happen. And it's like, yeah, sure, it's not like their fault because they were just doing what Universal was saying that they needed to do or else they're fucked. But like also like, you know, it's just a sad situation where it's like, damn, a lot of money and a lot of time was spent to try to just, for not only a feature, but a couple lines Kendrick might have insinuated. Like, this might one of the most expensive feature hasn't even dropped, and it's already causing a whole bunch of shit. But like, shout out to
the reason why this like
Pusha
really
and Malice
upsets me is because
it's just pure censorship at this point.
This is exactly like this was the fucking ripple effect that comes with Drake doing the fucking lawsuit bullshit in the first place.
It's gonna have other people censor other thing, and it's like it's gonna go into a bigger and bigger scale. And it's gonna not really censor a lot of artists who like can't say certain shit because of lawsuits happening because people can't take a loss. And it's insane to see in hip hop. But like, speaking of hip hop, shout out to Pusha T and No Malice for really going the extra length to save this feature in its uncensored form. And the way they went is a little insane because it's not just the verse. It's like at first it's just a couple lines, then the verse. And for them to do that, you know, it's like, fuck it, we have faith in this project, we have faith in this verse, and we don't want to do that as artists to even give you a smidge to censor. Yeah, Kendrick could censor his own shit on his own shit, but that's his own shit on our shit. Our shit, we're not going to censor shit, all right? And that's what they did. So, like, they call up Jay-Z, and it's like crazy.
But, like,
shout out to them.
Speaking of the Clipse, so we, like I said, like I mentioned,
and we're super excited about this fucking album.
So, like,
super fucking excited.
So I mentioned before we started talking about this particular story, they recently dropped a single off the album called Ace Trumpets.
Oh my goodness!
And let me tell you,
it's fucking delicious.
When I first heard this shit,
delicious.
I was insanely impressed because I hate you.
You're supposed to keep talking.
I fucking hate you and your fucking nom-nom noises, dude. Because this is like not the first time you've done that shit.
No, you're supposed to keep talking while I speak. While I be the ad-libs guy.
This is a fucking fanboy and chum-chum with your fucking nom-nom ass, dude. But
that is such a fucking fanboy and chum thing to do too. Which is like, it's so fucking toxic. It's a really fucking shitty show. It's a really shitty show.
But anyways, so Ace Trumpets, Pusha T, No Malice,
fucking dope.
But so when I first heard this, when I first fucking heard Pusha T come onto this song, and I heard Yellow diamonds look like PP. I mean, I told you.
It's a really bad bar.
This is going to be the fucking album of the year.
It's like a really bad bar, but it's also like the confidence he says it with is really funny.
Year,
it's like leather brown as caca, dodo boda tat, and like shit like he smashed it. It's just like scat references all through the verse. That would have been crazy. But like no, Pusha T killed it, and No Malice. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
Malice, I was like, oh shit.
Nah, man. Have you heard Clipse whole projects?
I think I've only heard one. It's the song with which one's the one with like it's like the fucking intro is like, oh like hey look, man, I got a pocket full of stinkies.
Oh yeah, a Dirty Money.
Yeah,
have you only heard that song? And you haven't?
I've heard that. Whatever album that.
Oh, okay. Hell Hath No Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I'm a big Clipse fan. Hell Hath No Fury is like my third favorite rap album of all time. Like I like the bars and beats in there. I like life changing
fucking
for me.
To a song ever.
No, they got a pocket full of stinkies. Fucking love
first,
everything about that album.
Because at first I was like, what the fuck is stinkies?
The fucking stinky, like he's like, hey, I got a fucking pocket full of doo doo.
And like Pusha T legit, like little.
He's like, why are you hand stinky?
If you go on Twitter, Pusha T like.
Speaking of that, Ace Trumpets.
He'll literally have you Google shit because like the thing that I love about Pusha T is he'll do this sometimes when he'll like be doing like album rollouts. He'll hop on Twitter and he'll actually start responding to people.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody legit asked him like, "Hey, like, bro, what is Ace Trumpets?"
Yeah.
And like Pusha T legit responding like, "Oh, it's essentially like the most expensive bottle of Ace of Spades," and it's like literally like he'll have me Google like.
He's like, and then it's like the most flyest shit of all time. Him having to make you Google it makes you feel more broke, and it's fucking, and it's just Pusha T and No Malice are the biggest, best flexers in the game. Period. Like those, and we're gonna announce it right now that we will be reviewing because I'm forcing him because all these albums of before we listen to
the new one.
Yeah, the new one. And
which we will obviously be reviewing.
Yeah, and it's I'm very excited to go back through Lord willing.
Yeah, so essentially we're gonna be up until the new album drops. We will be reviewing all the other Clipse projects.
Yeah, so I think we want to start with next week.
Yeah.
Lord willing. Oh, that's gonna be fire. That's gonna be fucking really good.
Next week, Lord willing review.
Nice, and then yeah, we're Ace Trumpets, and we really like it. We're so excited about this. Not only with the Kendrick feature, but Stove God. Shut up!
The fact that
I forgot the O was there.
The fact that he said that, because here's the thing: he said it on the podcast, but then he said it the other day when we were driving.
Yeah, somewhere. It was by accident. I want to say Steve because Steve rolls off the tongue better than the Stove. Mm-hmm. All right, shut up. The O is missing, and it confuses me.
I was telling him
sometimes.
when he said it in the car again. I was like, dude, I want us to fucking meet Stove God.
And I fucking do it by accident. Like, yo, Steve God cooks. Holy shit! Minecraft Steve God cooks.
You're stupid. But no, so yeah, we will do doing all the reviews of the Clipse album. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
And now, also, I'll say it now too. We'll probably be. There's a movie called Eddington coming out from the director Ari Aster, and we realized we haven't really reviewed. We talked about his movies a lot on here, but we haven't really reviewed them as a segment. So we might be doing that, within the next couple weeks. Hereditary.
We're supposed to do Hereditary with this.
Yeah, Midsummer, and then like the fucking theater played Inside Out too. I'm still really fucking mad about that. I wanted to like unalive myself that day. I was that's how depressed and high I was.
But so.
And then you bought me a drink. So Eric did. Eric bought me a drink.
Yeah, he was there.
Fucking cool boy Eric. So we'll Clipse, Ari Aster, and then what else you want to talk about?
Wait, so what fucking Ari Aster movie did you want to review then?
His first one, Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, have I shown you strange things about the Johnsons?
Yeah, you have.
Okay,
I
good.
Fucking hate you.
Now that
who the fuck else would show me that movie?
It's a good movie.
But So I guess so then are we also doing Hereditary next week then?
I'm down.
All right.
Yeah,
so then
bet.
I guess clip the
Lord willing and Hereditary.
Yeah.
What a combo. I think that's gonna be really exciting.
Now real quick, just I want to touch on this real quick because I can't let it slide.
Touch.
I do want to say so. Now that we're speaking about music, another album dropped last night.
Oh, you just want to talk about it real quick?
Yeah, I just want to get my quick thoughts out there.
Yeah.
Last night, Lil Wayne's The Carter 6 finally dropped.
Yeah. I didn't even know it dropped, and I was excited for this.
Tell you.
I was excited for this, and I didn't even know it was dropped.
So I literally had to tell Mike that it dropped. So here's the thing. So going into this, I was, putting aside like Lil Wayne's antics over the last couple months.
Yeah.
I was still really excited about the album.
Yeah, for the bars.
Because I still think that Lil Wayne is a good artist and a good rapper. But I will say, like, maybe after the second or third track on this album, I kind of started to notice something that really started to bother me as the album kept progressing. And by the time I finally got to the end, I realized that, in my personal opinion, I think this is by far one of the worst produced The Carter albums I've ever heard.
Easily.
I don't know, like, what Lil Wayne was thinking with some of these fucking beat selections, but the beats on this fucking album were fucking atrocious.
No, they're really bad. I only listened to it once, but I will say Welcome to the Carter, I think, is a really good start. Yeah. A very misleading start, if I might say.
Very misleading.
But like that song is fucking fire, and then I think Bells is like all right, and then that has the X plug, whatever his name is, which I think it wasn't that bad as a chorus, but I think there's a line in that Lil Wayne says, it was like, pussy go like squish squish squish, and I think this is where it fucking detours, and it detours bad.
Like, I wanted more of that.
It detours
like Lil Wayne I wanted.
Just like the pussy squish squish squish. I'm like, I don't want to hear that ever fucking again. And here's the thing with Lil Wayne, he has both the best bars and the worst bars I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Lil Wayne's got some crazy pussy bars.
I know, like fucking I'm in the ocean. Fucking shark pussy. I'm like, what does that even fucking mean? You're just like fucking sharks.
I think my favorite one, like she's doing tricks with her pussy, calling her a magician.
I think I thought that was Big Sean in the Logic song, or was it?
Wait, was that?
I think that was Big Sean. Yeah, it makes it less cool, huh? Like, it's not funny since it's Big Sean.
What the fuck? Dude, oh my god, you know what's funny? You want to say that you like Big Sean, but these little subtle jabs that you just throw are so fucking petty. Because you really didn't have to fucking bring him up. You could have just let me be wrong.
I was just correcting you, and then I accidentally slid my opinion through subtle wordplay.
No, yeah. So just to like real briefly wrap that album up.
Shout out to Big Sean.
It really didn't fucking sound good to me in my opinion.
I thought he was good on the album.
Yeah, like, but
I'll say that he's good on the album.
Yeah, but sonically, like, that's not an album that I want to play again.
Yeah, no. I would, especially when it gets to like the Elephant's Peanut.
Oh, that's
song.
Gotta be one of the worst fucking beats
that was crazy. And then you have a song with like MGK and Kodak Black. I'm like, no, what the fuck are these features, man? Like, this is the fucking Carter. You have to fucking get like superstars and fucking rap.
Fucking stupid ass Academics was on. I guess he was on stream before the album dropped. He's like, what is this guy?
You fuck yeah, and then you fucking fuck some big chicken.
Like, he was literally fucking like named all these features that weren't even on the fucking
Nicki
album.
Minaj ain't on there, Drake ain't on there, and it's like, come on, man. He's like, you already look like a fucking goof, you dumb piece of shit. Like looking at Academics existing makes you like one feel better, where it's like, oh, at least I'm not whatever that is, So that was but this album. And as big as a Lil Wayne fan I am, and someone who considers like the Carter 1 and 2 some of the best rap albums ever made, especially Carter 2 is so fucking good. I like it way more than Carter 3, and it's fucking so fucking good. Like that's when I think of the aesthetics and the bars and like the pacing of that album, it's like really top notch hip hop at its core.
To wrap up with music, I think, you know what? Do you want to do it? I think we should do it that way. We can do like 3 reviews
Yeah,
for our next episode. So do you want to do the album for
yeah,
for this one?
yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Do you did you fill in the blanks or not?
Yeah, I'm only missing one, but
Okay.
we'll just do it from those.
I have. I don't even tell me the albums. I am not gonna remember the albums at all. So let's see what we get. Let's see what bullshit we fucking get.
Because we're supposed to have like 6 on here, and we only have no. Yeah, we're supposed to have like
we've been like. And if you guys have bad albums you want to recommend, leave it in the comments below if you're fucking listening. Yeah, just let us know. Any they don't have to be bad albums. Maybe like shocking, surprising albums. Maybe we could review.
Well, you're lucky, my friend.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. That's like there's something.
No, for the first time, shit you say. For the first time me saying it, I'm not fucking with you.
What?
So this is an album that I actually personally added on here, that I didn't tell you about. But it's an album that is actually I'm genuinely curious to get your opinion on, because it's an album that is very nostalgic to me, because I have memories of when this album dropped. My brother went and bought the physical CD, and he used to listen to this and play it when my sister I don't know if you remember, but right there where when you know, across the street from the $3.99 pizza, like across the street from the McDonald's that's right there, like going to Target. Yeah. Right there, like when you go into Target, like all the way in the back, there used to be like I forgot. I'm
surprised you said that, because like people could like coordinate where
Bro, that there's literally fucking pizzas places and fucking McDonald's everywhere.
That is true. That is true.
But there's like all the way in the back there was a building. I don't know what it is now. I think it's like an auto shop now or something. But back then, it used to actually be a KFC. And this is back when my sister was in high school.
Still. Oh, was that I'm not going to see the restaurant, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about.
This was back when my sister was still in high school, and she was actually working at that KFC. So my brother used to have to go and pick her up when like her shift was over, and he would always be playing this fucking album in the car when I would sometimes go with him to pick her up. And that album is by a group called Swayze. And it is composed, I believe, of a producer / DJ and a rapper. And they formed this group called Swayze, and they essentially make like laid back, like sort of like kind of reggae inspired, like hip hop, kind of like it. I know I think the best frame of reference is a group that you've heard of before is the Dirty Heads. Yeah. Like kind of essentially that type of sound. And this is just an album that I personally think I haven't heard in like a long time, so I'm glad that I'm gonna get a chance to revisit it as well.
And you don't think it's a bad album, but it's like it's nostalgic.
Yeah, very nostalgic. And from what I remember, that album had a lot of actual bangers on it. So I'm actually really excited to go back and listen to it, but I'm more curious to see.
Is it that white reggae shit that you like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, all right. I'm curious to get your take on it.
Yeah. If you want white reggae shit, you know who to fucking go. So yeah, I'll be reviewing it, and then So I have very mixed. I have very mixed opinions on white reggae, but I'm very excited to hear this. Let's see what we could talk about with this.
All right, so that'll be next week, and now finally to wrap this episode up. Let's give our song recommendations.
Let's give fucking recommendations, biatch. Because next week we got the motherfucking Clipse, Hereditary, and Swayze fucking review. So make sure you fucking tune into that.
Real quick, so I'll go first.
Oh yeah, you go first, please. Yeah. My fucking thing.
So mine was actually one that I was talking to you about the other day. We were discussing about how we were really impressed by Reason's entry into that whole like Joey versus the West Coast battle that happened. And it reminded me of a track that he had came out with a few years ago that was really fucking dope. I just like the vibe of it because it's just kind of one of those like fuck you songs. Like if you've ever heard you've heard like the song Self Destruction by Boogie, right? Yeah. Like it's kind of like that similar type of vibe, like just really laid back. And it's by Reason, and it's called Same Old Shit. That track is just really fucking fire. So that was gonna be my recommendation. Same Old Shit by Reason.
All right, cool. And I have an album to recommend, a very classic goth, shoegazy, dream pop type sound. Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic by The Sundays. Very classic album, very vibey, goth, melancholy album, but I've just been listening to it a lot, and it's Yeah, and I listened to their all other albums. Still think that one's my favorite one. And if you're in like an early late 80s, early 90s goth, the melancholy, atmospheric mood, I think that's a really good one to listen to because this is what I've been listening to nonstop for a bit, and I've just been in this vibe all the time. So, Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic by the Sundays from 1990. And that concludes our episode, I think.
Yeah, so we will see you on the next one because we have 3 reviews we gotta get
Yeah,
to.
and they are very exciting reviews.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be really top
Oh,
notch.
you know what? It's actually been a minute since I've gone back and fully rewatched Hereditary, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna head out. See all of your fucks. Follow us on the socials, like the Instagrams,
Twitters,
the Twitters, the
the
Letterbox. But
fucking dead ass blue
yeah,
sky.
Blue Sky. Just in case you guys want to go, it's still there. It's still there, motherfuckers. Anyways, my dog is bugging at the door. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. Peace, asshole nuts.